guys. Carlos Cortez here. Hope you're doing well. Hey, it's good to be here. Wanted just to kind of throw a plethora of things and just have a conversation on what the heck is going on. For those of you that listen to this podcast, as you know, I say my legal disclaimer every podcast. I am a financial advisor, but everything that I say and discuss in this podcast and future podcasts is not investment advice. I want to make sure that you understand this is not investment advice. This podcast should be used for information and educational purposes only. If you would like investment advice, financial advice, or for us to look at your retirement, give us a call. We're more than happy to give you our opinion and potentially give you some advice. 813-448-3446. Again, it's 813-448-3446, or simply visit us at cortezwm.com to book your appointment. So, crazy things, right? We had the Maui fires. You guys know that didn't come from a hurricane. I mean, common sense. You have locals there getting on TikTok, getting on camera saying this did not come from a hurricane. Mom and dad did not sell in Laguna Front Street for generations. All of a sudden, their property is gone. Big corporations, in my opinion, somehow should be held responsible and looked into, whether it's the Vanguards or the BlackRocks of the world, because the locals never sold out to them. So it's interesting. It's interesting that we are here. People have died. Homes have been lost. Real estate values have diminished. And now these people, these hardworking Americans, are now vulnerable to the fact that some big corporation may buy them out. And we know there's a lot of celebrities out there. Some possibly even have visited Epstein's Island. I don't need to go down that pedophilia rabbit hole. But these false flags are live. They are real. And if you don't have the ability to see that, then wake up, man. Wake up. Like, these corporations, guys, they don't care. They're here to kill, devour, and destroy because they're led by Satan. They're led by Satan, and this is what they want. This is what they want. So Whole Foods, sister company, now bought out by Amazon. Whole Foods, you now can basically get your palm read at the register and use biometrics to pay for your food. It's here, guys. It's here. Excuse me. Revelation is not a joke. It's here, guys. I mean, they're already pushing this agenda like you wouldn't even believe. It's funny. The greatest lie that Satan has convinced all of America is that God isn't real, that Jesus never existed, that God isn't real. That's the lie. And so if you're atheist, look, I'm not pointing my finger at you. I'm just saying you need to wake up too, man, because every knee will bow, every tongue will confess. You will, and it won't be at your terms. It will be when you least expect it. You will eventually fall to your knees and beg for God to intervene in your life. And I hope it doesn't come at God's terms. So you might as well confess your sins now before it's too late, because these are times of the end times. I mean, these are signs of the end times, guys. I mean, it really is. So I wanted to talk about bank downgrades. Now, it's exhausting. It's exhausting about talking about these banks and more bank failures and blah, blah, blah. And holy cow, man, the calls that I got, like, Carlos, is my money safe in this bank? I have no idea, my man. I have no idea. I can't predict the future. I can't predict if your bank is going to go belly up. But what I can tell you is common sense. Find a credit union. Find a non-member bank. Like if your bank is FDIC, federally member bank, you can look it up. Non-member banks are going to be safer, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but they're not signing up for the Fed Now program. I do not like FDIC products. Most advisors in the game, they'll say, oh, yeah, you need to get FDIC products. They are guaranteed at $250,000 a year, and the federal government will back them up, blah, 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 blah. They're the same guys that sold out to these big corporations like Ameriprise, Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, Edward Jones for a paycheck. Like they don't go on their own and do it themselves because they have to get their paycheck from a big corporation. If you're a great barber, you open up your barber shop and you allow people to come to you. You don't work for Sport Clips or Great Clips or whatever, right? You open up your own deal. If you're good at what you do, if you believe at what you do, and if you're honest at what you do. And so that's why I put my name on the front door and said, screw you, big banks. I'm not going to walk your walk. I'm not even going to wear what you want me to wear. I'm not going to even cut my hair the way you want me to cut. And I sure as heck not going to take my jewelry off because you told me I don't look the part. And all these banks told me that a Spanish kid would never make it on Wall Street. Now you knuckleheads want to pay for hockey tickets and fine dining, fine dinners. I can't afford my own venue tickets, and I can afford a nice steak for my family. No, thank you. You can keep your Luciferian money and shove it up your ass where it belongs. Anyways, so yeah, the banks, man. Holy smokes. How long have I been talking about KRE? Look at this stock, KRE. It literally is down 29.13% in the past 6 months. For those of you who have been watching me for a while, for this whole year, we've talked about the banks. We've been reporting on them and more regional banks. And look what's happening. Every time the Fed raises interest rates, we have stress on the banks. More importantly, the smaller banks. People are afraid. People are afraid of the banks right now. The banks are not a safe place. Guys, it's 2023. What you thought was safe is not safe. What you thought was the most riskiest and craziest is now the most safest. Everything is ass backwards. It's flipped backwards, man. So get with the times. Put your ear down to the ground. Listen up. There are major things you need to know about. There's the cost of a deposit. There's rising inflation rates. Deposits are extremely low right now. Look at this chart of the banks and their depository deposits. The frequency of deposits, they are low. The frequency is low and the amounts are getting lower. You know what this is? You know what this is doing? I mean, I have one solution that will heal America. And look, I'm not like this greatest economist. I'm not a president. I am not a Fortune 500 investment advisor, portfolio manager, but I have one simple common sense solution that will get America back on track. And it's not the dumbest thing, but it's the most simplest thing. I'll stay tuned. I'll let you know what my thoughts is to get America on track. And the president that talks about this is the president that is going to make every American filthy rich and prosperous from a materialistic financial standpoint. So deposits are low, rising interest rates. The scam Fed said basically they're going to not raise interest rates, but I really think they probably will because that's what they do. They say they're going to do something, then they freaking do it. And it's going to be havoc, completely havoc. So what I'm really, really concerned about, guys, and forgive me, I meant to do a local segment. Like I like going around my iPhone and recording things and taking pictures of things that I can use for the podcast. I get inspiration just by driving around. Like, oh, look at this new building. Let me check out their building. Let me check out their website. Oh, look where they're from. They're from, Sacramento. And in Sacramento, they had this problem. And so that's how they found it. And, I go down the rabbit hole and how that affects us, how that affects our monies, our retirement. Just pretty much everything involved, right? And as I was doing some research, The reason why Americans are struggling right now, the reason why the single mom can't even afford groceries. Every retiree is complaining about the grocery bill, the gas bill, the electric bill, the drug bill for the drugs, even lumber. I mean, everything is because the first freaking thing that stupid face did when he got in the office is what his masters told him, because he's a puppet, is to cut the Keystone pipeline. And this is why we are facing supply chain issues. This is why we are facing so much financial travesty right now, is because we don't have the backbone of America in place. We don't have our economic amino acids in place. We don't have our fuel. We don't have fossil fuels, guys. We don't have the ability to move a truck. So when the truck drivers can't get in the truck to do their job, and you take the daggone fuel from them, we have problems. Houston, we have a problem. You take away fracking and the ability to grow our country, and for people to have cheaper gas prices, for them to have logistical means to go to work, and small business owners can ship things and they can buy things and not really have to worry about shipping cost, money will move. People will be happier. There will be more transactions. There will be more profitability. And so it's my prediction. Whoever this new president is going to be, whether they try to steal the election again or not, they have to really, really ramp up natural gas. They got to look at natural gas. Natural gas burns cleaner. Okay. For you tree huggers out there, yes, there's lower emissions on it. It burns. It's a heck of a lot cheaper to refine. It's natural gas. It is a hybrid. It's a hybrid energy source. So we really can't go completely solar, wind, and all the people that want to go green. It would take 110 years, literally, at a conservative level. That would be an optimistic level, to try to make us all green. This whole Project 2030 of getting all these EV cars, it's not going to freaking work, because what's going to happen to the crappy Tesla that is falling apart right now? What are we going to do with those batteries? We got to have fossil fuel to replace those lithium batteries. You just can't stick it in the ground. You got to decompose it. It's going to take generators. It's going to take diesel fuel. It's going to take fuel. For crying out loud, all these Teslas that break down, they got to have a gas generator to do their rapid battery test. It's just terrible, man. Like this whole electronic EV movement, this green energy movement. And if you look into it, it's all Soros funded, BlackRock funded, Vanguard funded. It is all the elites, just the same guys that are killing people in Maui right now. It's the same guys, man. Like the elites, this is what Satan wants to do. Want to kill, devour, and destroy. And what is the number one threat? America. We were a God-driven country. We are the leader. I still believe we are. I still believe there is hope. I believe God can move the mountains. I believe God can pierce these Luciferian principalities that are literally have strongholds on America. I believe that these child traffickers will all die, will all be struck by lightning, that they will too feel the pits of hell, the justice that God has for them. That is my prayer. That is my faith. And please, I hope I don't get my hands on one of them. I'll probably be locked up. Let's just say that, with a lot of other patriots. So we have a higher cost of deposits, rising interest rates. Deposits are extremely low. Now the U.S. has been downgraded, but you know what else is going to be downgraded? Possibly your bank. So let me explain something. Fitch is a huge credit rating bureau of the banks. And if you look at the scale, we are now double A. They're possibly going to go double A negative, which is one or two notches over. I believe it's two notches. Yeah, two notches over. One notch over. So it's one notch over. If it goes downgraded, like if it actually goes downgraded, it is possible that now that JP Morgan, the likes of JP Morgan and all the other banks that get downgraded, there's going to be 70 other bank downgrades, guys. There's going to be more downgrades is what I'm getting at. Downgrade city, man, like possibly even 70 of them, because now Fitch has to look at every single parameter of the banks, and it is going to hurt bad. Secondly, that's just one problem. The reason why they're downgrading, to me, is the fossil fuel problem. But the other problem is that it's going to hit us like a freight train tsunami. 2023 is when literally $270 billion in commercial real estate loans mature in 2023. 80 billion of those 270 are office loans. So I wanted to take this picture. Maybe I'll do it this weekend. I recently moved in November of last year, but where I used to live, there was a United Healthcare building. It is completely vacant. And this is a massive building, guys, completely massive. COVID, or the scandemic, has created a hybrid model where people just want to work from home using their laptop, Zoom calls, and companies are finding it more efficient to allow their employees to work from home. With technology on the rise, they're able to do so, and some are efficient, some are not. Some are working 3 different jobs with 3 different companies and doing the quiet quitting movement, which I really don't agree with. That's another conversation. But we now have this building, this massive building worth millions and millions of dollars, probably $100 million facility right next to my house, my old house. Who's going to pay for the mortgage? Why should they pay for the mortgage? Will they be like PIMCO? Remember PIMCO? I think 8.1, what was it? It was a $1 billion bill. It was literally a $1 billion building. They defaulted on. PIMCO defaulted on it. Yep. Let me look it up real quick. PIMCO default. Yeah, it was 1.7 billion default at an office property. 7 of its buildings, according to people unfamiliar with the matter. So PIMCO defaulted in this meltdown. So what I'm getting at, guys, is commercial real estate is going to experience a massive drawdown. So if you're trying to buy a property, just wait till the end of the year. Wait another 6 months, and let's see how this is going to go bad. Airbnbs are down 40%. Vacation homes are down 40%. You mean to tell me that Yellen's saying that the banks are strong and that we are not in a recession? Are you joking me? Netherlands is now in a recession. People cannot afford to travel. Credit card debt is it's in the trillions. Like, we've never had this much credit card debt ever. It's in the trillions, guys. Think about that. How are these hardworking Americans ever going to pay debt off in the trillions? They can't even pay it before they're doing it. It goes back to the fossil fuel. The first thing Stupid Face did was cut the fossil fuels, man. Like, you can't do that and expect our economy to grow. And then he wants to lie about Bidenomics. He doesn't even know what the freak that means. He even said it himself. But yet, you have all your money. You have your 401ks. You have your IRAs. You have all your money in the market with this bimbo in office that is creating this false reality. They're going to pump up the stock market because the election year coming. They're going to make him look good. And then they're going to crash and burn. And then organically, what's going to happen is all these negative, detrimental leading indicators, such as no one's buying homes, the college kid that graduated, there is no American dream for him. Newsflash. There isn't an American dream. American dream is starting your own business and then hopefully paying your mortgage off inside 10 years and creating a family and get your dog and white picket fence. The American dream is being an entrepreneur. You never do it by working a 40-year job with a 401k that you don't even own. So it's time to start revisiting what the old American dream is. All right? That's the truth, man. Like, this is what this podcast is about. It's about truth, right? Truth, vulnerability, honesty, and the cross. And a little bit of, retirement planning information so that you can be a lot smarter and that you can know what's really going on. So I'm really, really, really concerned about this real estate. I have property in Orlando. And I asked my property manager, I said, why are we renting this for $119 a night? And he said, well, it's attractive because it's newer property. And at least you get people in for reviews. I said, really? I said, yeah, because it's down 40%. So your rental rates have to be slashed at least by 50%. And I would rather you have people going to your property and staying than nothing at all. I say, yeah, you're right, man. But holy smokes, like vacation Airbnbs. So we got two crises that are about to happen that no one's really talking about. The first one is the commercial loan crisis. Like, these companies with this hybrid model, everybody working from home or a hybrid, they don't need the massive office, the Class A office space anymore. They just don't. So you're going to see these properties just go literally, they're walking away from them and writing them off. It is going, and guess who's holding the back? The banks. Smaller banks too, not just the big ones, but there are smaller banks with a commercial lending department. They're going to get waxed. They're going to get waxed, man. And if you don't remember the Dodd-Frank Act that I spoke about 3 to 4, maybe even 6 months ago, if a bank has a bank failure and they become insolvent, they have the ability and the right, if they're FDIC, they have the ability to do what's called a bank bail-in credit. They literally have the right to use your money for the greater good of the financial institution to keep that financial institution solvent. So if you got $250,000 in the bank and the bank goes insolvent because they have all these commercial loans out there and they don't have any deposits going in, I already showed that to you. Like, across the board, the deposits are extremely low. Now we have, in 2023, we have literally $80 billion of commercial-backed real estate that is due this year, and it's possible that we can get massive default numbers. Guys, if this happens, man, this is going to be devastating. This would be worse than 2008. It is more time than ever to protect your retirement. I want you guys to give us a call, 813-448-3446. Get you a private insured account. You need guarantees in your portfolio. Most advisors don't even have access to what we have access to. Your Merrill Lynch, Wall Street Bank, your advisor that possibly took the jab or worked for a company that believed in a jab, possibly has you all in the stock market saying it's going to be all right. You need to be proactive. We can do that too here. We can manage your assets, keep it liquid, but we also believe in a safe bucket of money that's private, that's insured, that's out of the stock market and we can make equity-like returns. We want to be able to play in both buckets and have that ability to have liquidity and safety at the same time. Many of you completely can't afford to lose anything and you just want everything in that safe money bucket. We're here to help you. Give us a call, 813-448-3446, and we will get you squared away. It's just a conversation. That's all it is. It's just a conversation with myself or one of our consultants. Call us, 813-448-3446. Check out KRE. Check out the stock, man. Let's pull it up again. KRE. KRE is trading at, what is it here? Let me pull it up again. I'm not as fast as my producers. KRE stock. Yeah, 44.79 right now. Holy smokes. This is comprised of all these regional banks. And, it's still down. I think I said earlier in the podcast, it's still down the past 6 months. Year to date, it's down 30. In 1 year, it's down 33.88%. Completely atrocious. Just atrocious. And if we look at the VIX is trading, the volatility index. The VIX is trading at 1678, so it's getting closer to that 18. Would you look at that? Remember, when I was talking about the VIX, I said a week ago that once it's around that 13, that 52-week low. Actually, let me go back. Yeah, once it's near that 52-week low, it was under 13. It was around 1273. I said once it hits that support level, just like any stock, once it hits that psychological number, you have this like what a psych number basically is in trading terms is if you had a piece of clothing, the ladies have a blouse or men, we have a jacket that we saw, and we know that this jacket costs $1,900, regular price, regular season. But if we bought it during the summer, we might be able to pick it up for $700, fully Italian linen, designer. So we pick it up for $700 because we know that's a great deal. It's the same thing with any stock. As if it goes down a 52-week low, you want to buy at least 25% close or on the money to that 52-week low. And you always want to sell at least 25% near the all-time 52-week high or all-time high. And how you look at trend is if you get lower lowers, you have a bear market. If you have higher new lows or higher highs, I would say, you have a bullish market. Well, lately the S&P 500 has been new lower lows, and the trend is going down. All the indicators, and this is as of close, the market's been up, but it has these bear market rallies, as you guys know. We are in a bear market, and I feel we're going to in a recession. There's no way we have credit card debt. We have gas and diesel fuel just screaming. People can't even afford gas and food. Payday loans are skyrocketing. Payday loans are predatory loans that you keep on running on a hamster wheel. Once you get one, you can't stop. You have to keep on feeding the hamster wheel. It is only by help by others or working extra hard or getting an injection of help, of financial help, you can get out of that role. And if that's you, please do not do those payday loans. I used to do them when I was a kid and I was a broke financial advisor. And I was just starting out my practice. You had to do what you had to do in order to start your business. But don't do that. Do not get into that mistake. They're terrible. And so we have these office loans that I'm really, really concerned about. So these office loans, $80 billion, we have more pressure coming to the bank with mortgage-backed securities, commercial mortgage-backed securities. We have rising interest rates. We have people with less and less deposits putting in. The banks have lost money by giving you your own money back because they're not making money lending the money out or buying bonds. So if your bank bought bonds, they're losing money to give you back your own money. So it's more important, guys, right now. What I'm getting at is that you need to, in my opinion, find a non-member bank. A non-member bank, just do an internet search of it. Most of them are going to be community banks, credit unions. They are not going to be FDIC backed. They're not going to be in the Fed Now program. And you want to make sure what insurances they have on your reserves, on their reserves. You can ask them that. Because when you have a membered bank that is FDIC and that wants to wave their hand to Fed Now program, they have it in writing that they can take your money, guys. They literally can take your money for behavioral issues. They don't like what you say online or on a podcast or on Facebook, shut you down. Social credit score you. Maybe you just don't even deal with the banks. I mean, you got to have a bank in order to pay your mortgage and your car notes. I'm not saying you don't have a bank. I'm just saying find a credit union or a non-member bank that is not with the Fed Now program. And if you're looking to get completely out of the banks and you want some of these puppies, these are amazing, amazing silver ounce bars. They are 10 ounces each. They're very popular. Right now, silver is trading at $22.03, I believe. So it's down. It's down a good 20% past 2 months. Good time to buy. I like Cornerstone. They'll pretty much beat anybody's pricing, and they put scriptures on their silver. 888-747-3309. Again, it's 888-747-3309. Give them a call at Cornerstone if you would like to buy precious metals. You can go on a monthly plan with them. You can go on a yearly plan. You can do one time. You can do IRAs. More importantly, if you bought a gold IRA from you know who and you're paying over 20% in commissions, or if you lost over 20%, give Cornerstone a call, 888-747-3309. They will lower those prices for you when you do sell it. You're not slammed with those crazy sales charge fees and lose 20+% on the sell of your gold or silver IRA. Now, I'm not a big fan of gold and silver IRAs, but if you have one, definitely give Cornerstone a call, 888-747-3309. They are my good friends. I love the owner, Terry. He's an awesome man of faith, and you're doing business with amazing people. So I just wanted to literally just share about the bank downgrades that we got. We got some problems that, in my opinion, that could happen with these commercial loans and the fossil fuels and bank deposits. It's a lot of stress, man. So whatever you're doing right now, please, if you have an advisor, if you have a brokerage account, please give us a call, man, and let us just have a conversation. You got to protect your principal. And I'm not talking about going to cash. I'm literally saying we need to secure it. Get some insurance on your money, some private insured accounts that have guaranteed principal protection, as well as some active money managers that can protect you on a downside. Like, you need a combination of both, and we're here to help you with that. We want to make sure we're giving you the right advice, the right suitable advice, and do what's in line with your values of your faith and what is suitable to you, the eyes of God, and the eyes of your family. Man, I can go on and talk about this stuff, but at the end of the day, I want you guys to just be educated. Let us not fear the financial markets. Let us not fear the jab. Let us not fear the enemy. Let's put on the armor. Let's put on the armor and just plan for it. We know we're going to financial war. We know we're going to war. We know they're going to try to steal the election. You know that they're going to try to protect all the junk, all the rulers of darkness, the principalities that the Bible talks about. They're going to try to protect that. And as long as we shed our light, share God's love, and have a relationship with him, we will be okay. How many times does the Bible say that seek him and all these things will be added to you? or not to worry. Like, worry is not part of your faith. I mean, yes, we worry, but God does not want us to worry. We don't need to worry about any of this. We don't need to worry about money. We don't need to worry about what this person said, because what? God has us in the palm of his hand. He'll never leave us. He'll never forsake us. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I started a YouTube channel in case something happens at Rumble. I'm always diversifying my shows. Also, give us a like if you don't mind. Give us a like on or subscribe on our YouTube channel as well as Rumble here to help the network. I really, really appreciate that. If you find any of this information helpful, and if you just simply want to talk, just give us a call, 813-448-3446. Also, I appreciate emails. Like we get emails, info@cortezwm.com. Emails, info@cortezwm.com. We respond all the time to them. If you are still looking for some great meat or some safe products to take at home, Switch My Products USA, switchmyproductsusa.com. Go over there and get you a beef bundle from non-vaccinated beef. Amazing beef. Tastes amazing. They have monthly subscriptions. You could get fillets. You can get beautiful ribeyes and ground beef. They taste amazing. It tastes like how it should, and not like the adulterated meat that you buy at Costco or Sam's like I used to. Also, if you still want to meet, go to CortezWM.com. CortezWM.com. We can do virtual appointments. We can get on Zoom. My clients, they see me on with this backdrop, just like this podcast. I mean, this studio. This is how I meet my clients. So get on CortezWM.com, book your appointment, fill out a few small little questionnaire. If you want a little bit more about our firm, just go to AmericaFirstRetirementPlan.com. You can download our ABC guide. It talks about yellow, red, and green money. If you haven't seen the podcast on yellow, red, and green money, please do. Amazing. It will change the way you look at your funds. And guys, with the recession literally coming, you got to do something. You can't just be there and being a sitting duck and let the markets take the money away from you. Please don't do that. Give us a call. We're here to help. God bless you guys. Oh, two things. I got one video. Check out my son. As you guys know, I love ice hockey. My son got me into ice hockey. He's 10. He's pushing. They're learning how to get stronger and faster. So they're doing a sled drill. They're pushing Coach Zach, who's a professional hockey player, and my little guy, Jacob's 5. You guys remember him when he was learning to skate? Well, now he's skating really good. And here's his brother pushing him around. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Thought that was adorable. And then I really don't have a scripture for you, but I have a worship song for you. This was done last Christmas. It's one of my favorite hymns. Most of you guys don't know. I know I've said it multiple times that I lead worship at my church. This is me singing for a Celebrate Recovery group. This is a drug addicts group that we implement, kind of like a recovery process with a biblical emphasis. So this is a worship song that I sang to them, and I hope you guys enjoy it. With that being said, I'm out of here. God bless you guys, and we'll talk soon.
Alone in my sorrow and dead in my sin, lost without no place again. Your love made a way and let mercy come in. When death was arrested and my life began, ash was a team. My open heart was given me. My morning grew quiet, my feet rose to dance. When death was arrested and my life began, oh, your grace so free washes over me. Downgrades.